Okay, today we are going to start with the most important thing, that is Selenium Framework. Okay, so far we have been learning multiple tools. Every tool having its own purpose. Now it's time to bring all the tools together. Okay, okay. I'll call it Automation Framework. Okay, so what is an automation framework? So basically, it's a structure which fits all the tools, which allows all the tools to communicate with each other for achieving some functionality or some intended functionality. Okay, you have your automation framework. You know you want to automate something. For automating, uh, for automating your applications, you need multiple things like a framework tool like TestNG. Okay, a coding tool, coding language like Java, automation tool like Selenium. Okay, some logging tool like Log4j, some reporting tool. Okay, so you want all these tools. Okay, and each tool having its own purpose. So you now you want to bring all them together, construct something which can achieve all your goals. Okay, now if I start with TestNG, you know TestNG is a testing framework. Okay, TestNG is like its backbone of our automation framework. So you can call it a skeleton. Okay, your automation framework is a human body. Suppose TestNG is your skeleton because uh, it is the one which is at the center of our framework, which uh, which has provision to fit multiple tools in it, so that they can communicate with each other. Okay. Next, Java. So our chosen language is Java. So Selenium is we are using Selenium. So since our programming language is Java, we are using um, Selenium Java library to write our automation cases. Then we need to implement Log4j. We have not yet discussed. We'll in our next sessions we'll discuss about Log4j logging. Okay, the logging is basically uh, for your uh, purpose. We can call it. So suppose you while your test cases are being executed, you write some logs so that after the test case execution, when we look at those logs, we'll understand uh, what's happening. Okay, and if there are any issues, what caused the issues, so that in case of failure we need to log a proper error message. In case of even in case of success, we need to log some informative message in your log file, so that you'll understand what happened internally while the test cases are being executed. Next thing is reporting. Reporting is once your tests are passed, you need to show the test case results to team members or your manager. Okay, so you you can go for Excel, you can go for some HTML report, you can go for any customized report. Okay, or any report having showing some graphs kind of stuff. You can go for anything. Okay, based on your requirement, everything is your requirement. So finally, for defining an automation framework, there is no definite rule that an automation framework should be like this. It's not like that. It is how you want to achieve your goals. You build your automation framework in that way to make your life easy. Okay, you build your automation framework that way. So your automation framework, the major goals are like this. easy maintenance. Your automation framework is in such should be in such a way that maintenance should be minimal. Okay, then no duplication. Okay, you write effective code, so that reusable code, because if the same code is needed in multiple place, you make use of it. Okay, proper logging, proper reporting. Okay, then even a layman who doesn't know coding should be able to use it. Okay, easy to provide test data. Okay, so like this, so these are all, so generally these, it's kind of protocol or some set of rules. Our framework should be able to achieve all these kind of all these things. Okay, so how we achieve is completely on us. There is no that to achieve this you need to do this only, not like that. For example, this this for providing test data, you can use excel file, you can use xml file, you can use test file, whatever you want you can use it. But so based on the requirement, which file better suits you? Okay, excel test or property cell, which file better suits you, we should go for it. Okay, steps for building framework. First one is create or decide with project structure. Okay, or I can call it folder structure. Then um, get all dependencies. Okay, write tests. Okay, uh, write utilities needed for reading data, test data from files, implement logging, generate reports. So anything we missed? So these are major things. So create and decide with project structure. The tool used in this is Maven. Get all dependencies. Again, Maven, write tests. How do we write? Java with Selenium. Right? Utilities needed for test data, for reading test data from files. You can read data from Excel or Node, text file. Okay, XML files using Java. Logging. Another this is another Java library called log4j. We'll use this. Okay. Generate reports. We make use of testng. So for write um, here also we make use of testng. Okay, for writing our tests, test suits, test cases. If you remember, testng is the backbone of this thing. Suppose if you write some piece of code, you annotate it with the test at the rate test, then testng considers it as a test case. Okay, and you create testng.xml telling what are the all the cases. You just add all the tests or .java file names into your testng.xml configuration file, so that testng understands the uh, different Java files that are containing the tests. Okay, and it also provides assertions test engine, right? So every test case, uh, in every test case we need to do validations. That means we need to compare something with something, or compare actual with expected value. Okay, then if that matches, pass your test case. If that fails, fail your test case. Who is taking care of that? Test engine assertions are taking care of that. So briefly, these are the tools which are acting at different phases, or for achieving different goals. Okay, let us start with first step. Okay, and major thing is decide approach. Okay, what do you mean by approach? Okay, so basically, in Selenium or any automation suits, okay, in Selenium there are multiple approaches called data driven approach, keyword driven approach, okay, page object model approach. There are many other approaches like modular approach. There are multiple ways. Okay, so basically this in a single word, it describes your framework. So if anyone asks us what is your framework, we immediately start with it's a data driven framework, right? It's a keyword driven framework. Okay, it's a page object model framework. Okay, we basically uh, define our framework using single word. So data-driven approach or keyword-driven approach, every these approaches having their own meaning, or they define a particular way of achieving your framework. Okay, for example, okay, in our next sessions we are going to discuss about data-driven approach. Okay, I don't want to start immediately with what is data-driven approach and keyword-driven approach. First, we learn data-driven approach. Okay, and we just have few some conversation about this keyword driven approach. I'm not going to show you an example of this, but we'll just, once you know what is data driven approach, then you'll understand what is keyword driven approach. And coming to page object model, this is something which can use as part of your data driven framework. Okay, as part of keyword driven approach. Suppose if my framework is a data driven approach, I can make use of this page object model as part of my data driven approach. Similarly, my framework is keyword driven approach. I can make use of this page object model as part of my keyword driven approach. Okay, and you may not even use this approach at all. Okay, you have to use at least one of these two approaches. That is for sure. That is, we should use at least one of these two approaches. This you can use, or you may not use as part of this framework. This also I'll explain. Don't worry much about this. Okay, we'll have example of this. Okay, so I'm basically putting this uh, out of these two frameworks. Okay, I'm not putting in this in our condition. Okay, this can be uh, you can be used, or this may be used or may not be used as part of your data driven frameworks or keyword driven approach. Okay, so first decide on with approach. So as we have decided, we are going to use a data driven approach, okay, which internally makes use of page object model. Okay, so now we are ready with the first step. What are we up to? What is decided? Data driven framework with page object model or page object approach. Okay. Next, create. Here, decide with project structure, folder structure, Maven. Now I'll start with creating a Maven project. We'll create a new Maven project. Uh, I'll name it com.sidhu. This is the group ID and artifact ID. I'll name it as Selenium underscore framework. Okay. So snapshot version and packaging should be jar. I'll click finish. The project got created. Okay. And inside it, okay, I'll again divide it into multiple steps. Create a Maven project, create folder structure. Okay, so in every project we need configuration files. They can be text files or Excel files or XML files. We'll make use of them. Okay, so in order to put them in a single place, I'll create a new folder called conf folder. Okay, so basically purpose of this conf folder is put the configuration files. We'll create another folder with the name drivers because we need the binaries are .exe, Chrome driver.exe, Firefox binary, okay, Internet Explorer driver. So far we have been taking the examples of only Chrome driver. We'll see examples of tests running on Firefox browser too. Okay, so basically if those things need your drivers binary files. Okay, so I'll create a drivers folder. Inside this drivers folder I'll put all the binaries needed for running or opening our browsers. Okay, so just remember the difference between these drivers and your jars. Jars are different. Okay, they are Selenium jar or any Apache PY jar, Log4j jar. These are jar files. They are Java archives. Whereas the drivers, okay, if I see the example of on that I created a drivers folder. Where did I put? Okay, this is my drivers folder. Okay, chrome.exe. Remember, Maven cannot download these things on the fly. It can only download jar files. Okay, so these files you have to physically put them in your project structure. Okay, if you share your project, in that project those binaries also get saved because they are also physically given to the person whoever wants to run our projects. Whereas in case of jars, you just add dependencies in pom.xml. When you share your project, you actually don't give your complete project to them. Okay, so when they build using the Maven, okay, Maven again downloads them on their machine too. Okay, so Maven takes it provides uniformity. Okay, it takes care of downloading jar files. Whereas in case of drivers, you have to physically put them in your project structure. Okay, first I'll copy chrome driver.exe. So, and let me copy Firefox binary. Firefox binary is called as gecko driver.exe. It's okay. For Chrome browser, it is Chrome driver.exe, but whereas for Firefox driver, it's gecko driver.exe. Okay, we need to download Windows 64. So where is our gecko driver? copying it, pasting it in my driver section. Okay, similarly for IE there is IE driver.exe. Okay, I'm not going to give the example of IE for now. We'll only run our tests on Chrome driver and Gecko driver. Okay, now you have config folder ready, drivers folder ready. So we'll later put all the configuration. Okay, why? Okay, they need to be put in drivers. Okay, we'll based on our needs, we'll create configuration files in it. Okay, we'll put some values. Basically, if it is a properties file, we'll add properties it like that. Okay, so now you have your folder structure ready. Okay, create folder structure, that is ready. Get all dependencies. So all the dependent jars, you need to add them to pom.xml. So we'll add a dependency section in it. Okay, inside it we need to add Selenium dependency, testng dependency, uh, Apache POA dependency, log4j dependency. We'll quickly add. What is that? This is the dependency. This is one dependency. Okay, then basically we copied this in Selenium website. Uh, as I showed on the other day, I showed on my own repository. Okay, Selenium Java beta 4. It gives the dependency. Okay, the same thing. Similarly for testng, we'll take the latest. So this is the dependency. So this is my own repository. Always try to take your dependencies from this authorized repository. Okay. The other one is Apache POI. And log4j also will add. Clash and third parties. Take this. Saved it. If I go to Maven dependencies, okay, it has added Selenium. I think it did not add Apache POA. Okay, so it added now. It also added log4j. It added POA. Similarly, it might have added testng. Is it testng? It has not added testng. Uh, Maybe it's downloading it. Okay, we'll do a maven clean install.
హలో సీత,
రాము చెప్పు.
నువ్వు ఈ క్లీన్ ఇన్స్టాల్ అన్నాక అవన్నీ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకో.
కొన్నిసార్లు it depends on the settings in your project. Sometimes as soon as you add and save your pom.xml, Maven directly downloads them, okay, build it. Sometimes you need to explicitly do that.
అదే నువ్వు
Okay.
మొన్న మనం క్లీన్ ఇన్స్టాల్ అన్నాక అన్ని వచ్చినట్టు అనిపిస్తుంది.
I think if they are already in your local repository, they will come.
ఆహా, ఓకే ఓకే.
If they are not in your local repository, it first has to download from the web, okay, then put them in .m2, that is Maven local repository. From there it will add to here. I think
అంటే మనం అప్పుడు
okay, see
డిస్కస్ చేసినప్పుడు
testng got added here also, so automatically it did it.
మనం డిస్కస్ చేసినప్పుడు లోకల్ లేకున్నా సరే అదే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా తెచ్చుకుంటది అని అనుకుంటున్నాను.
Yes. Okay, we'll see if there are any testing. See,
ఓకే.
look at this. Do not automatically update dependencies from remote repository. So these are Maven preferences: offline, debug output, download artifact sources, startup, update Maven startup. I think it has automatically downloaded it. Okay, but there is a setting not to build it, but for downloading, it's not waiting for anyone. It immediately, as soon as you add and save it, it is downloading and adding it to your class path. Okay.
ఓకే.
So now see, I just added dependencies here. Maven took care of adding them to build path. Okay, now I have all the jars that are that I want to make use of ready in my build path. All that I need to do is start writing code or start using those classes. Okay, get all dependencies, Maven, write tests. Okay, okay, we'll write one test. Where do we write? We know that source main Java. Here we are going to write our test. Here I'll create a new package. I'll name it tests. Okay. Similarly, I'll create a new package. I'll name it WebDriver Factory. Okay. So I'll explain what these things contain. Okay. Similarly, I'll create a new package. I'll name it utils or utilities. Okay. So basically, I try to arrange my class files based on this folder names, because I am logically putting them together. So if I am writing any test case, I'll put that in tests. If I need some utility, or there are some utilities which can be reused by multiple tests, what I'll do, I'll put them in this utils package. So this WebDriver factory, this is basically, so it has the classes. You just pass the WebDriver or browser of your choice, or just browser name to it. This WebDriver classes present in this WebDriver factory, they do all the stuff. They open that browser and give that to you, so that you can make use of it. Okay. So we'll use each one of them. First, I'll start with some test class. I'll name it login test. Okay, and I don't want to use main method. I want to use testng. I want to write all my tests in testng. So I am not selecting this. I don't want main method. So this is my login test. So okay. So this is the title, and this is assert. Okay. Suppose you can pass the third to this method. We can pass a third parameter where we can say expected and actual titles are not matching. Okay, so this is in case of failure. If you want to throw some custom message, you can use this third parameter. Okay, suppose if you don't want any custom message, you can simply remove this. Okay, so there are actually this method assert equals method is overloaded. Okay, it can take two parameters, it can also take three parameters. Okay, if you pass the third parameter, that means the third parameter is a message in that it shows to us, that it prints on the screen uh, the error message. Okay, in case of failure, this message will be shown. Okay, now another important thing is I need to annotate it as test, then only testng understands it as test. Okay, okay, now you need to, before opening driver, you need to set this property driver dot, sorry, system dot set property. The property name is driver dot chrome driver, and the value is the location. Where is it present? In your project, it is present in drivers folder slash, and name of it is chrome driver dot exe. Okay, now let me run this. Sorry. Okay, I think see, even though we have added this testng library, okay, it's still, if you do this run as, you are not getting run as testng option, run as testng test. Okay, even though jar is added. Okay, so remember, like maven, you need to, so maven, you know, you need to set up on your eclipse as a plugin, as well as on your machine, to, in order to run it from command line, you need to set it both ways. Okay, so if suppose if you don't install maven plugin in your file, this uh, eclipse, when you do right click, you don't get this maven option. Okay, similarly, in case of testng also, if you want to do any testng uh, runs or runs, then you need to install testng plugin also. Okay, in your eclipse. Suppose if you don't have testng plugin, then you can run them from command line. There is no issue because maven added them to your library. Okay, so just remember that running from command line is different, running from eclipse is different. If you want running from command line, okay, you need to have it in your maven dependencies, testng. Okay, testng is there, uh, testng is there. But if you want to run testng from your eclipse, make sure your eclipse has that testng plugin. Okay, now if I do right click, run as, see I got test engine test because I installed that plugin. Running it as a test engine test because it's a test engine test. Okay, test case execution is completed. Okay, if I go here, you see the test is completed. After that, I need to add this driver dot quit. Okay, so it will close the browser too. Okay, this is about your just login test. Okay, suppose for some reason if I intentionally change this title, then now the test case failed. Okay, the reason being, what is the reason that is printed over here? See, it says that expected and actual titles are not matching. Okay, this message, expected and actual titles are not matching. So this is just some informative message that is shown here. Well, I will quickly write these two tests and we'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll go on extending them, or uh, implementing utilities, reusable methods, putting them in configuration files. See, I'm directly putting this URL in this test case. Similarly, I'm directly putting this title in this test case. Okay, this is not acceptable. This is not proper way of writing our automation test. Okay, so these are all kind of constants, right? This URL is same throughout the website. Wherever you want to use, it will be the same. So you can put it in a separate configuration file. Okay, outside, then you make use of it everywhere. Similarly, title. Okay, there are multiple things that we need to handle. This is very raw way to write your test case, but we are going to design a framework. We should do best. Okay, next thing, sign in button test. So here the same thing, you need to, even for testing sign in also, to check whether sign in button is there, you need to open this URL first, just confirm the title is correct. Okay, so that you are on the correct page or not. Okay, then look for this button. Okay, then click it, then check the title again whether you are taken to login page or not. Okay, these are uh, simple things. Here what I'll do, I'll just for looking in the Firebug, I am opening this URL in Firefox browser. It's Firebug. Okay, ID equal to sign in. What I will do, web element sign in button equal to driver dot find element by dot id equal to sign in. Okay, okay, then I need to click that. Then get the title, driver dot get title. So this time string expected. Okay, this is if I go inside, so I'll call this sign in page. Okay, string actual sign in page title. Okay, and string expected. What should be the expected? Let us take it from here itself. Console document. So basically this is, I'm just running JavaScript to get the title. Okay, there is nothing more than it. So this is login page title. Okay, now we know what should be the expected value, actual value. Now it's time to assert dot assert equals, I would like to compare the expected actual. Okay, and in case they don't match, I want to print this error message: actual and expected login page titles are not matching. Okay, it just folded into new line. We need to add @test to it. Okay, we'll for now just do it enabled equal to false. Okay, here it is saying element not visible. So okay, from now onwards, we'll make it a habit of using weights. Either it can be implicit weight or explicit weight. For now, we'll go with implicit weight. How to put implicit weight? As soon as the driver object is created, after that you need to do driver dot manage dot timeouts dot implicitly wait. How long you want to wait? Okay, I want to wait for some 8 seconds. Here I need to give the time unit dot seconds. So basically what happened, as soon as this login button is clicked, sorry, it failed looking for True. Sign in button test. It failed at what line? Home page tests 48. Okay. Maybe so it failed looking for this web element. This web element. So looking for sign in button because as soon as this page is open, it immediately started looking for this button. Okay. But as we discussed when I told you about weights, even the page is loaded, the elements present in the page, okay, they get some time to get loaded in the page, to be visible, to be clickable, okay. They generally take some time, okay. We need to use explicit weights. Explicit weight are the better way of doing it, okay. For now, I'll put implicit weight only. So implicit wait of 8 seconds. That means it waits for a maximum of 8 seconds for every element. Okay. Since this is implicit wait, that is set at driver level, it will wait a maximum of 8 seconds for every element. Okay. It again failed. Okay. Element not visible. What is the line? Okay. So that means it is we need to use explicit wait here. Okay. What I'll do for now, put explicit wait. Okay. Later, we'll implement that implicit wait also. Explicit wait. This thread dot slip is also worst case of explicit wait. I told you, right? So here I would like to wait for some 5 seconds. So you might have got the doubt that even after putting this implicit wait of 8 seconds, still we are not able to uh, access that element. Okay. So as I told, there are multiple cases. Element not present in the page, element present in the page, element is present but it's not enabled. Okay. There are multiple cases like that. It can be any one of those cases. What happened? Element not visible. Okay, two matching nodes are there by ID. What is the other node? Okay, so basically the locator that we used is not correct. We used by ID, right? So by ID sign in, but there are two elements with the ID equal to sign in. Okay, what is the other one? It is somewhere present in the page. Okay, okay, let's not worry about it. We'll look for another identifier for this. So Mm, okay, we'll go for XPath. Still, there are two matching nodes. Mm, I will go for absolute XPath. This time it only gave one matching node. Okay, because as we know, absolute XPath gives the complete XPath starting from the parent node, that is root node, that is HTML, whereas a relative XPath, that is relative to some node. Okay, but it was giving two values. I'll change it to by XPath. Okay, now it is successful. Okay, the test case is passed, and we just copy paste this entire code for the last third test. Here we'll just change the sign in button. It should be sign up button, right? Sign up button. We'll comment this out, and here change it to sign up button test. Okay, and I'll annotate it at the rate test. Similarly, sign up button is also having some title, dot title. It says Yahoo. Okay, and I'll make the second test that we ran some time ago enable equal to false, because I just want to test the third test. Okay, and here we want to click on the sign up button. Make sure the identifier that you are using should uniquely identify that element only. Sometimes the relative XPaths and all those stuff, they lead to they match multiple nodes, that will cause issues. So basically, instead of using this absolute XPath, you can write CSS selectors too. As we discussed, CSS is faster than XPath, and it works evenly on all the browsers, right? So CSS is the best choice. We can write that too, but just to uh, mm, uh, so picking this is easy for now. Okay, so I have not gone for it. Just run it. No. HTML body div1 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 HTML body div1 div1 ul li5 a div ull. Okay, I did not copy it properly. See, now we are on sign up page 2. So all the three tests are passed. Okay, all that we did is just first test, open the home page and verified the title is correct or not. In the second step, we opened the home page, uh, located the sign in button. Okay, clicked on the sign in button. Once we click on that, we just verified whether we are on the right page or not. That means whether we are on the login page or not by verifying the title. Similarly for sign up. Okay, so we'll stop our class today.